So the second day of the NBA playoffs was today. I'm gonna give y'all the recap, what I thought about the games. I watched all four games, and yeah, I'm just gonna give you my thoughts. Okay, so the first game was the Boston Celtics versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Honestly, I knew this was gonna be a bad game for the Sixers. I knew it was gonna be bad because there was no Embiid. I just did not know it was 30 lose by 30 points. Bad. Yeah, Maxi tried his best. He had no help. Like Maxi just had. There's really no one was cooking other than Maxi. Really, the only plays I could think of the Sixers that were memorable were like I think Justin Edwards had like back to back threes, or he had back to back made shots, and I was like, okay, someone other than Tyrese Maxey is cooking. I had expectations for Paul George. He did not live up for those expectations. And I'm saying this as a Paul George fan. I know he does not show up often in the playoffs. He's not this hero in the playoffs. Really hasn't been that since the Clippers reached the Western Conference Final. But yeah, I honestly like I honestly thought the Sixers were going to lose by 10, 20, not 30. I don't know how Jason Tatum can come off an Achilles injury and still look like a top five player. Like he looked crazy in this game. He was in some crazy shots. He was hitting his usual shots. Jaylen Brown also looked good. I think the Celtics are particularly dangerous, and I think that they're probably gonna come out the East. As much as I don't like the Celtics, they're probably gonna come out the East because with Jason Tatum sitting out, Jaylen Brown learned how to be a number one, and with Jason Tatum coming back in, he learned that he can be a number one while Tatum is still being a number one. And I think that takes the Celtics to the next level. And also, Joe Mazzulla learned how to coach without Jason Tatum. And a lot of the players on the Celtics filled in the gaps, like Jordan Walsh, Derek White. Um, yeah, but the Celtics were just crazy, lights out. If Embiid does not play until game four, then it's still going to be a sweep. The second game was OKC Phoenix, so Suns versus Thunder, and yeah, the Thunder looked like they could repeat. The Thunder looked poised, they looked ready, they had the depth. Um, the people like the people who I want to point out are my MVPs for that game is J Dub. J Dub showed up. J Dub was really good. Trying to think of who else because it really was like an all around team effort. Chet was all right. Um, Shea had 15 free throws. It Loki didn't feel like that, but yeah. The Thunder. I really don't have much to say about the Thunder because the Thunder are the Thunder. For Jalen Green to end my Warriors season and to end or no for him to have 35 to him to have a combined total of 71 points in two playoff games, 35 and 36, and then come into this game and be terrible was expected just because OKC has one of the top defenses. They're always going to have one of the top defenses if they have Cason Wallace, Alex Caruso, Chet Holmgren, Shea, Jared McCain, like J Dub. Like they're always going to have the top defense if they have these players. But yeah, um, really, the only person who didn't struggle was Booker. The only person who didn't struggle as much was Booker. I think Booker just kind of needs help. Like he's not good when he's or he isn't playing to his full potential when he's a primary playmaker. The Suns need a point guard. Devin Booker is not a point guard. Um, the Suns do have Gillespie, but he just can't create for Booker. He's kind of like an off-ball point guard. He's an off-ball point guard who moves around, finds his shots like through cutting or screens or just running around and getting open. That just isn't the type of point guard that can maximize the talent that Devin Booker has. Jalen Green has to be better. Dylan Brooks has to be better if the Suns even want to dream about stealing one game in the series against the Thunder. The third game was the Pistons Magic. Boy, the Pistons looked terrible. I would just say that. They looked terrible. The only person who didn't look terrible was Cade. Jalen Duren thinks he's going to get a Supermax contract. You can't get a Supermax contract by making Wendell Carter look like the best big on the floor. Like, Wendell Carter looked great today, and it's all because of Jalen Duren. But yeah, the Pistons, only thing I could say, the Pistons would be really great if they had a solidified second to K, like a Robin. but they just kind of don't. Like the offense is just Cade go get buckets, and then you can feed Jalen Duren, and then Asar Thompson can cut and get a dunk, or Tobias Harris can do his bag work and try and score. And guess what? That didn't work against the Magic because Paolo's a playoff riser. Paolo played great as much as he struggled the last month. He played great. Franz played all right. Jalen Suggs played out of this world defensively and offensively. He really was the reason why they won the game because his defense was just otherworldly and his offense, like he had them. The Magic got out to like a crazy lead. I think it was like 17-5. It was a crazy lead in the first quarter, and it was all because of Jalen Suggs. He had like two threes, couple steals. Like Jalen Suggs was all over the floor, even though he fouled out. And Jalen Suggs is really the X factor for the Magic. If the Magic don't have Jalen Suggs, then the Magic just aren't. If the Magic don't have Jalen Suggs, then they simply are not winning. If the Pistons even want to win this series, first off, they have to bring energy, and second off, someone other than Cade has to show up. Like Cade had like almost 40, like it was ridiculous. You're like, yeah, someone else other than Cade has to show up. Like Cade was the only person who showed up. Like Duran was nowhere to be found. Tobias Harris was somewhat of a help, but he was still missing a bunch of shots. Kevin Herter was eh. Asar Thompson, I don't expect Asar Thompson to do anything offensively, but he just, I don't know. But yeah, the Pistons need a number two, or they're just not gonna win. Like the Pistons can get 60 wins in the regular season. They need a number two if they want to win a championship. That's all I gotta say about the Pistons. I wouldn't be surprised if the Magic upset the Pistons. I'm just kidding. This is gonna be a 6-game series. The Pistons are gonna struggle until they don't struggle, and then they're gonna wrap the Magic. Simple as that. Okay, the last game of the night was Portland versus San Antonio. Really, for Portland, they just have to make those threes. If Portland was making those threes in the first half, they would have been up like 15 at halftime. Like it was crazy the amount of threes they were shooting and not making. Denny played all right. Like Denny played good. As much as I don't like Denny because he assisted in the genocide of another country, um, he's pretty good. He's a good ball player. Wemby was, oh my gosh, Wemby was just crazy. The Spurs, everyone, I'm not saying everyone on the Spurs. The Spurs were just crazy. They were clicking on all cylinders, and I thought going into this game, okay, Portland is kind of young, but they do have experience with Drew Holiday and Time Lord, and I'm trying to think of the other people. Oh, and Jeremy Grant. And I was like, okay, maybe they can take one game from the Spurs, and it did kind of look like that, especially in really until like the middle of the third quarter, going into the fourth, and all my doubts about the Spurs age just flew out the window. They just were great, especially for a team so young. Like the only people who have extensive playoff experience on that team are Harrison Barnes and Luke Cornett. De'Aaron Fox did play 7 games, but that's only 7 games. But still, yeah, the Spurs look crazy. Um, I honestly think the Spurs are going to meet the Nuggets, and it's really going to be about experience in that. And it's going to be like, have you been in these situations before, and what are you going to do when you're put in certain situations? But I think the Spurs can sweep or gentlemen sweep the Blazers. I think the Blazers can get like one game off them, but it would have to be like game 4 in Portland when they're on the brink of elimination. And Denny has like 35, 12, and 17. But yeah, those are my playoff thoughts for the day. April 19th. This is gonna come out April 20th at 12 p.m. So yeah, thank you for watching. And I'm gonna just do this every day I do watch. I'm not gonna watch tomorrow. I'm not gonna watch all the games tomorrow because I have work. But I'm going to watch Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday because I don't have work those days.